Hey, welcome to Tangent. I'm David Francisco. It's the return of the podcasts here to the feed and also on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's there as well. YouTube launched this functionality that I'm experimenting with this episode here, where they allow a playlist to be turned into a podcast, and I presume that's gonna like overlap to Google Podcasts. Spotify, if you have a video podcast, Spotify has in their podcasts you can watch the video. They like you can play the video, you can upload a video to Spotify to play as a podcast there. And I presume that Google is trying to do the same and trying to like overlap YouTube with Spotify with their podcast and try to agglomerate, would that be the right word? Things there, and there's the incentive to try and push podcasts into the platform. And it's interesting because for the past 2 weeks I've heard more than one person say that they will put a podcast on YouTube in the background while they're doing something else. Like they want to listen to something and they'll just pop a podcast there. And that's something that I don't do personally. I put on other stuff. Obviously, I have YouTube in the background, but there isn't like, I listen to podcasts on my podcast app, but a lot of people do it on video as well. And it's interesting that YouTube is trying to this new functionality to try and bring podcasts back, or at least like organize podcasts better on the platform. Because what people were doing is you record the video to go on YouTube, and then you also separately put it on podcast platforms, including Google Podcasts. And I guess now they're trying to merge and get them to be the same thing. Although I want more than these episodes, these tangents to be in the podcast feed. In a perfect world, that's what would be happening. So I don't know how, because I have my podcast feed on Google Podcasts anyways. And now there's going to be two feeds now, because this playlist will also be a podcast feed there. I don't know. But what just happened is actually a very good way of to explain explain the concept behind what I'm doing here, which is just me going on tangents. That's what I do. And I felt the lack of place for me to do so. Obviously, if you've been following me for a while, and by God, if you're listening to this now because you had the subscription to the feed, then you have been following me for a while. I've been experimenting for the past few, dare I say, years when it comes to the best way of bringing you fun and entertainment through wrestling and through myself as well. I'm glad to have an audience that wants to hear from me and wants to see more from me, and I'm very appreciative of that. And I've been trying to experiment what's the best way, both for me and for my own workflow, but also for what the audience wants, what you guys want, and basically I feel like I've been nailing the other aspects. For the past 3 months I've been experimenting a lot with, and I feel like I've had a good grasp on what I want to do when it comes to providing this value. I'm trying my best to avoid the word content for some reason, but I got the YouTube videos that are that they're like getting a little bit of traction, which I appreciate. And this is the best way for people who want to know more about me to see just like me going in depth into what I've been doing in my career. And then there's like the little tidbits that I grab both from those YouTube videos and from matches that I have and everything, and I kind of spread it out like on TikTok and on Instagram especially. They're not the same platform, but so I'm not using the exact same, dare I say the word, strategy. But I've been like, I just feel like I've been kind of like nailing it. I've been getting it and then putting it to practice. Maybe not in terms of quantity as I wanted, but definitely quality. So it's time to like take the next step and try to see how I can incorporate, well, the podcast, the audio, and the lives as well, which is another aspect that maybe I can talk about here. Actually, I should talk about here, but This is the podcast. It's I used to have a little bit of a. I used to call it a catch up, right? And I tried to make it 7 minutes, and I would end up doing more than that. And also when I used to do lives, that's where I would also kind of go, basically delve into things that are past the ring and what I'm doing in wrestling, because that's important. But I want to bring you some more, right? Both in terms of what's my life been like, and discussions about why a hot dog is a sandwich. They go on both sides, both extremities of the spectrum of things that I want to put out that are outside of wrestling, and this is the first step to kind of bring that back, to try and bring to you more than just David Francisco the wrestler, although it's still the number one part. I feel like I want to present more. Basically, I want to give more of me, if that makes sense. And this is what I'm doing here. Tangents. It's literally trying to. It's sidetracks, right? This is a place that I'm allowing myself to go sidetrack, not just to give you a little bit of just tell you stories and things that have happened in my life, but also to maybe be talking and discussing some things that don't fit anywhere else when it comes to my presentation. You know that right now there's gonna be silence here for a couple of seconds, because I'm panicking over the fact that I can see that the audio is recording, but I'm panicking over the fact that the video isn't filming, and I need to go and check that, and I'm gonna definitely leave this here. Nah, we're good. Everything is filming. We're fine. We're good. I actually been wanting to jump back in front of this microphone for months now. It would be... I kind of got the tingling for it. Let me see the exact date. 23rd of January? 21st of January. After the 21st of January, which was my return to France after months, my return to Reeks after months. Not the February show, with a big show in February that I did there, but the one before that, where I returned, and it just brought me... It was January, right? The year just started. I came out of a 2022 just riddled with injuries and a generally very challenging year. And personally, it was a great year. Don't get me wrong. Personally, it was a great year. But professionally, wrestling-wise, it was very challenging with the injuries. And then, Purpose, I had to, cancel shows. And back in January, I was very much in the mindset of, is Purpose a project that will be able to continue to exist? And so I went into that plane that took me to France. I wasn't in a down moment, don't get me wrong, but basically I didn't realize as I was boarding that plane, as I was going to France, that for a while now, I haven't had I haven't had a moment in wrestling that would remind me of how special pro wrestling is. And it was great to arrive in France, to see friends, to meet new people. I was very excited to be involved in all that show. And so I was very happy to be able to return, a little bit questioning how is the crowd going to react to me. Will they still remember? Obviously, we've been doing some really cool stuff when it comes to promos to put out for the show, and it would be just it would be good. It would be good like it has been good. But I cross that X in the entrance of Rick's, and I showed my face and walked out. I was the first person to walk out, and the energy that I felt from the crowd in that moment is it was a really special moment that I haven't had in a very long time, and that definitely 2022 was very, very rare. And just that energy that was given to me by that crowd. And I think that I haven't clipped the entrance and put out, but I definitely want to do that, because it was deafening. It was incredibly deafening, and that energy that was given to me kind of like energized me, and it stayed. Is that the way you put the word? I think so. It stayed inside of me, and I felt like I needed to talk about it. And it was like the best place to talk about it is to do this. It's here in front of this microphone, the podcast, and then life got in the way, and I wasn't able to to do that. I've been wanting to do this for months. So yeah, it's 3 months now, right? It's almost 3 months. It'll be 2.5 months since this happened in France. Since I wanted to do this, and it's finally happening today. Here we are. And if I wanted to do it after that, and I couldn't do it, and then I wanted to do it after the February show, when we did the big, like, almost 1,000 people show in Dreux, and the one where Ospreay in the main event wrestled Tristan Archer, and I got to wrestle Mills in the biggest audience that we've ever wrestled in front of against each other. Definitely one of the biggest audiences that I've ever wrestled in front of, period. And this time I knew it was coming. I was very trusting of my ability to be able to garner that reaction from the crowd, and I knew the first time I was surprised in January. I was surprised by it, and it really energized me. But this time in February in Dreux, I knew it was coming, and I wanted to enjoy it and soak it in. And same thing. I go under the X on the Rick's stage to do my entrance, and it's 800, 900 people, 1,000 people giving you that heated reaction just because they saw you. It was a very, very special moment, and I allowed myself to really sink it in. And yeah, it's a memory that I'll never forget. It was great. And once again, after that, I wanted to come here on the microphone and record a podcast. I had an entire script ready to go for it, and then I ended up not doing it, which I kind of appreciate, because I was almost gonna name this Fireside, as in like fireside chats, like we're sitting here, you and I, next to a fireplace, and we're just having a chat. But then I don't even remember why, but Tangent came to mind. And I was like, that's an even better name. 2 days after I decided that I was going to call this series of in the podcast Tangent, I found out that Hank Green and his project, this sci-fi project, I forget the name of it, Sci-Fi something. They also have like a podcast, and they call it Sci-Fi Tangent. So I thought I was being original, but I wasn't. But hey, Hank, I know that you respect the fact that I respect that our audiences are smart enough to understand the difference there. And by the way, Hank, if you're listening, I'm a big fan. Thanks. Let me know. Tweet me or something. Send me a message at I'm David Francisco. If anyone knows Hank and is listening to this, if you want to tell him that I reference him on this episode, that'd be great. Yeah. If I sound a bit stuffy, I think that's the word in English, stuffy. My sinusitis is killing me, and we even theorized, me and a friend who's studying to be a paramedic, theorized that if it would be hay fever, and we kind of did a few tests, and it's not hay fever, it's sinusitis. The humidity in the air went crazy, which means that my nose immediately went crazy, and it's blocked gladly. And I don't know if I had this. I've had this issue for decades, right? It's like I have chronic sinusitis. Tis what tis. But late in the past few years, and I don't know, maybe it was something that was only developed now, I found sprays to the nose that aren't like just menthol. What would you guys call it? Because all these words in Portuguese are the same. But it's not like just menthol sprays where you smell it and it opens up a little bit, but it's just like it's opening up to the menthol thing. No, it's like a spray that will kind of like dry your sinuses and be able to stop this mucus from just pouring for a while. I'm happy that I found it, and it's a lifesaver. This pharmaceutical company is getting a lot of money out of me, and I'm not abusing it either. So a good thing about it is that before, whenever I would have basically whenever sinusitis would attack me like that, the jump from getting my nose blocked to getting nosebleeds was a very small jump, right? But gladly, this specific spray that I'm using, and I'm not going to say it because I'm not doing some advertisement here, but if anyone has the exact same condition as I do, then I'll tell you what it is. Gladly, like, it dries me up, but it doesn't make me bleed. I haven't had a nosebleed in a while, and that would always be like twice a year. Here come nosebleed season. That's always what would happen with my nose, but gladly that's not the case here. So I'm very happy that I'm able to talk to you here now, and it's not horrible. It's not like stuffy and horrible. It's pretty good. Yeah, I have chronic sinusitis. There you go. There's something you've learned about me. You'll be learning a few things about me here. On tangent. For example, you will learn that my birthday was recently. Yeah, I'm not sure if you've been paying attention, but I openly do it every year. This isn't a thing that just happened this year. And a few people that maybe haven't realized. I've had a few people afterwards coming to me, and I'm like, what is this Appreciation Day thing? And I'm like, bro, it's my birthday. And I had a wrestling show. I had a WrestleForce show on my birthday, and people on the day were asking me about it. And I'm like, it's my birthday. That's why it's the Appreciation Day. There was some cool appreciation sent to me, and I am all for people being more open about the fact that it's time for them to get some appreciation. Why not? Why shouldn't we? So it's all, of course it's better when other people send it your way without being prompted, but at the same time, it's your birthday. You are allowed to go all in on your birthday. It almost feels like it's part of what you should do is kind of like feel embarrassed over the fact that there's so much attention on you on your birthday. And I don't remember who, and maybe I should, but recently, around the time when I was of my birthday last week, I was like watching someone or listening to someone who was saying like, "No, it's my birthday. I want it all. I want my gifts. I want my." They were specifically talking about how they liked when people sang "Happy Birthday" to them, and they would revel in the moment and enjoy the moment there, because at the end of the day, when you strip out the how can I put this? The idea that you do something because you have to, right? Like singing happy birthday, whatever. When you go into the meaning and what it's supposed to really mean, it's a celebration of that person's life and existence. So, enjoy and revel in that celebration. Why not? It will boost your mood. It boosted my mood. Let me tell you. This is like maybe the first year where I was like, yes, let's go. Time to sing happy birthday to me. Where's my cupcake? I had cupcakes. I didn't have a cake. Where's my cupcake? Let's go. And it's just like, yes. It helped my brain make me feel validated. Not that I needed a lot of help for that, but, here we are. I just hydrate myself. I'm not, it's been a while since I've spoken for this long, and I'm trying to make sure that I speak with the proper speech, not everything that's just happened in the past 5 seconds. I'm actually like going slow and making this interesting for you while not sounding like a robot. I feel like I'm much better than I used to be in these podcasts, to be fair. I was talking about my birthday. I wrestle on my birthday. I had a WrestleForce show at their biggest venue, the biggest venue that they have, where they run shows regularly in Rayleigh. Yes, not Romford, Rayleigh. There was like almost 300 people there. Like WrestleForce always draws well, but I think that was like a record for WrestleForce. Definitely under Ollie Peace, and I've never wrestled in that venue. It was the first time that I wrestled in that venue. I remember that I reffed in that venue before, years and years ago, when I had an ankle sprain and I was out for a month or two. I did some reffing for Ollie, some reffing for WrestleForce, and it was good to be able to wrestle there. Wrestled with Rex Armstrong against James Farrell and Danny Haynes. fun, super fun. Such a good time. It was a good time on my birthday there. I went to the gym in the morning, but the real celebration was the day after, and there was two things that I did that I wanted to do on my birthday. I wanted to break my diet and enjoy some nice food, and I wanted to go to the movies. One of these two things was achieved, and the other one was kind of achieved. We'll talk about the movies in a second, but I need to tell you about a mistake I made. All right, here's my perfect cheat meal. Okay, my go-to, my default cheat meal: pizza and ice cream. That's it. Pizza and ice cream. You give me pizza and you give me ice cream, and when it's like a day to refill, or like a cheat day or a celebration day or whatever, I'm happy. That's all I need. I can get other stuff. I can get chocolates. I can get this and that. But like, if I have pizza and I have ice cream, I'm sorted. So I decided that it would be a good idea to go for a pizza buffet for lunch from a very well-known pizza brand that does pizza buffets, and I was very excited about it, about the idea that I could be, like, I was going to go in and eat as much pizza as I wanted. I forgot about one detail when it comes to the pizza buffet. You don't get to choose the pizzas. That was a mistake I made. I should have known, and I didn't know, and I suffered from it. I didn't suffer, right? I still enjoyed it. It was very good, like, having all those pizzas, but it didn't feel as satisfying as it should. Because the problem with pizza, and in a way the problem with ice cream, if there's a problem with either of those things, but bear with me here, is that they as a concept, they're too wide, too varied. It is possible for me to have a pizza that I don't want to eat, although pizza and ice cream is my go-to cheat meal. Right? If you fill a pizza with sweet corn and chicken or tuna or whatever, I'm like, Tuna and chicken should not be on pizza in the first place, but that's a conversation for us to have at another time. I'm not going to have that conversation here now. I feel like the joy of pizza is that you get to kind of like personalize it, and it wasn't personalized. I had to go with other people's choices, and they weren't what they were to me, and so it didn't really satisfy me. So that was a mistake. So yeah, careful with the pizza buffets, guys. It's one thing if you go to a pasta buffet, which I've been to before, and because in a pasta buffet, regardless, the most famous pastas, you will enjoy one of them. Even if you're not a bolognese guy, you'll be a carbonara guy, right? Even if you're not a puttanesca gal, you'll be a ravioli gal. You know? Not on pizza, though. Pizza, like, it's too varied and it didn't work. And unfortunately, that wasn't satisfying enough. And it's a shame. But I've learned my lesson. And all I'm doing here is spreading my lesson with you because I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did. If you want a lot of pizza, you'll be better off just buying the pizza you want yourself, as opposed to going to a buffet. But afterwards, I went to the movies and I saw Super Mario Bros. And I gotta say, the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is correct. It's a very fun movie. Listen, I didn't go out there to try and see an Oscar nomination, all right? It's the Super Mario Brothers movie. Come on. You should know exactly where you're going to, and I knew exactly what I was going to, and I enjoyed every single moment of it. It was great. No, I won't take any slander. There's a pun here somewhere. I'm gonna have to spend too much time thinking about it, but there's a plumber and slander pun here somewhere, I'm sure. You're probably yelling it at me right now. If you are, get in the comments. Wait, that's someone else's gimmick. Great movie. I, for some reason, watch me analyze Super Mario Bros. storytelling and character development. Really enjoyed Peach's character, as in the subversion of the original Mario idea of Mario, a plumber, going to save a princess, and they stink. It's the environment we're in today, but it led into like a way more interesting character, that princess by title, leader by character. That was so much cooler, right? And besides, why would Mario? Am I spoiling? Should I say careful with spoilers? I'll just say this: Mario's the one that comes into Peach's world. Why would Mario be the one that knows how to navigate the world of the person that's there already? I also enjoy Luigi's character development arc. It was like I was waiting for it to happen, and it did. It was very good. I'm not going to spoil that one. Maybe the most enjoyable part of the movie, and I think this is the general consensus here, is just Bowser. Bowser as a character, great. Jack Black did a great job portraying Bowser, and his casting adds to the movie. You know, some people say that he carries the movie on his back, and listen, I'm not I won't know. The other people that are listening to this, I'm looking at you, Tim Martini. We'll know about movies better than me, but I wouldn't disagree with that assessment. Very good movie. I enjoy it. I recommend actually. Yeah, go for like some mindless fun to the movies to watch the freaking Super Mario Brothers. You'll enjoy it. There's some cool moments there. Definitely the couple of kids that were in the theater when we went to see it, that had the time of their lives according to their laughters. It's pretty good. Yeah, and what else did I do? Ooh, I had what's the 31? Baskin Robbins? Is it Baskin and Robbins? There's an ice cream there. The cinema I went to had Baskin Robbins there. Underwhelming as an ice cream. I hadn't had it until that day, and I tried two of the flavors that would be my go-to flavors. Funny enough, two of the flavors that had like a special name, like something mud and whatever, and it was underwhelming. It's not the best of ice cream chains, at least here. Maybe in America it's different, but here in UK, I'm not sure if I'll do it again. Not sure if I'd go there again. Ben and Jerry's is still undefeated. Yeah. Overall, it was a very good day. A very fun day. Am I forgetting anything from that day? Ooh, I got presents. I'm looking at it right now. I got a new adornment to my studio. the shelf that makes my studio. A really nice lighting up decoration for it with the FRN logo and my handle at I'm David Francisco, and I'm wearing the t-shirt that was also given to me on that day. I guess I must be maybe I haven't realized how much I'm into D&D recently if I'm gifted a t-shirt about D&D on my birthday. But I'm wearing it now. It's a nice t-shirt, comfy t-shirt. I like it. It looks cool. I do want to go see the Dungeons and Dragons movie. Curious about that. John Wick. It's also another movie that I want to see. Am I going to be able to see them all this month? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. If not, I'll see them when they come into streaming platforms, which is not going to take that long. It used to take forever because they wanted to do the DVD release first, but no one buys DVDs anymore now, do they? Anyways. I'll be in, I'll go to UPW. UKPW is not that, it was different. UPW, I'll be in UPW this Saturday. Wrestling Mad Dog. Not that Mad Dog, but actually I'm going to, I'm going to film something after this about that. And I said I talked about the lives as well. I'm going to try a format. Here's the thing. It's easy to sit here. Like, I've been talking for over 25 minutes about this, right? When I go, like, it's a tangent, and I can just be like, here's a couple of topics that I'm going to do a riff on. As I'm sure you've realized by now, I can riff for a while. But when I stopped doing lives for a while because life got really busy, and that would be the first thing that would fall. But for when I want to go midterm, I would like to bring them back. the problem I had with it is that I was trying to pre-produce and post-produce the lives a lot. Like I would do the lives with the idea of pre-producing them and post-producing them. So like basically prepare them, try to make them special in about moments, and then especially afterwards, just like trying to make some edits out of it and create something. But then that would end up being mindless and with no target. I felt like that was happening. So I'm gonna have a different approach to it. I'm gonna try this as soon as I finish recording this. So if you're here listening to this that I'm saying has already happened. This test that I want to do, I want to test. I sit in front of this computer a lot, doing editing videos, and obviously I'm gonna edit this podcast. And I want to try, because I feel like I got the settings down. I want to try and see if my computer handles editing and live streaming at the same time. Because if it does, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sometimes, if I'm at home and I'm just doing a little bit of work, well, I'll just go live while doing this work. You guys can join me on Twitch. And we're just kind of doing like, working together, like a shared co-working. What's the term? Like you're just sharing a room with someone else that is also working, and you guys are kind of just like working together. You guys come hang out, and we can talk. Like I'll have the chat open, but I'm doing that as I'm kind of talking you through the process of any editings that I want to do, any like either my YouTube videos or like my clips of my matches that I want to put together and moments that I want to show. And or if I just want to like kind of like relax and play a game, we can do that. But like I will, with not a lot of like committed scheduling, I will go on Twitch when I can / feel like it, and I'll be there doing work. And I just happen to work that I would need to do and I would do anyways, but I just happen to be live while doing it, and we can interact like that and have some fun together with that. A very not, I think you'll understand what I mean by this, but a very low energy stream. Obviously I'm working, I'm fine, but it's not like, and there's nothing wrong with this, don't get me wrong, right? And I do this in other places, but like it's not going to be one of like a very like action packed in your face constant like explosions and things happening production and stream. It will be chill, it'll be chill, working and chill, Final Cut Pro and chill. And then but I still like the idea of doing some like live shows, and I'm gonna call it a show, with like ideas and production and guests and stuff. And I think that doing that once a month on YouTube would be the best thing, and I can kind of like prepare those and have guests and have things planned and do stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. We'll see if and that would be a little bit more scheduled, right? If I can be like the last Monday of every month or something like that, I'm committing to going live. I think that'll be cool. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I feel like I'm in a position now where I can. Obviously, the idea of this is that I want to push these things so that I can be in a position where this is all I do, right? I wrestle and I interact with you guys, and I put out all this entertainment for you. And I'm in a position to be able to just do that. I feel like it needs to build, and the cycle to be building needs to start somewhere, and I think it needs to start with me. Now that I'm able to committing a bit more to these things that can take me closer, can take me one step closer to that level there. We'll see if it works. We'll see if the dynamic will be plausible enough as a dynamic to be able to work. But I'll try it. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna basically edit this podcast live. While we're live on Twitch in a surprise stream after a long time. If it works, it may not work. I'm gonna test it. We'll see. Cool. This dungeon was cool. Was this cool? Did you enjoy it? Can you let me know? I'm going to. It probably won't be open by now, but definitely by the next episode it will. I'm gonna open a little like comment section on my website davidfrancisco.net for the podcast, where people can basically both write in a question or a comment, or send in they can record a voice note and send in a voice note, and I can read those here on the podcast or listen to them here on the podcast. I think that'd be cool. That'd be cool, right? You do that, right? Yeah. cool. But I'd like to know if you listen to this, if you got this far. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let me know you did. Let me know if you're enjoying the format. Let me know if Tangent is something that you'll be able to, if you're interested in doing. If this was any interesting whatsoever, I'll be cool to know. And I'm not going to overstay my welcome. I will come back. I don't know. I'm not going to come back next week, but maybe we can do like a every 2 week thing. Maybe we can do that. Definitely one every month. That'd be cool, right? I think I'm gonna see first what I can do and can't do, and then I'll commit to something. No commitment, but hopefully this won't be a one and done. That'd be cool, right? Thanks for listening. Cool. Thanks. Bye.